So the behavior of smoke. Many factors influence smoke behavior. Combustion temperatures, as discussed. We create an expansion of air when we have a significantly high temperature, which creates a pressure gradient. So can force smoky air deep into cracks, crevices, outside walls. Something that is a really important understanding of this potential impact as a condo owner is if you have any kind of drywall cavities, and essentially if you have an open ceiling where it's been insulated, if you have a fire at a very high temperature, it is quite likely that smoke will be getting into those cavities and involve a more significant restoration process. Touching on that, I guess the next point here is air pressure changes. So you can see at times when we have a major pressure gradient inside of a home or condo building, there is a possibility for windows to be blown out of the property. It's usually a very clear indication when something like this happens. You see after the fire has been put out, a smoke residue outside of the windows where the smoke is exiting the property. Magnetism, so a really important kind of physical property of smoke. A lot of the particles within smoke carry electrical charges. Those electrical charges can be magnetized to metallic fasteners. A very common fastener that we see in essentially all drywall finish materials are drywall screws. The surface can become magnetized. It's not a lasting or unfixable impact, but understanding that the smoke particles are attracted to those materials is very important. It again increases the risk of essentially the smoke penetrating into a cavity where we don't want it to go. Ionization, particles of smoke with opposite charges can attract each other and create what's known as a smoke web, indicating combustion of synthetic materials and impingement. So I think we're going to come back to this in a moment here as well, but a key point on ionization, this is actually a property of smoke and soot that we use to our advantage in order to restore properties. So it's a really key part and principle of a fire loss. So hazards, being very aware of the hazards that we come across on a fire or smoke damaged property is critically important. Our team always wears masks, essentially beyond any of these kind of site hazards, and understanding that smoke can contain really particles from whatever had been burning. It becomes critically important to understand the respiratory impacts of that, and wearing a respirator and a mask anytime you're entering in a property that has had smoke damage is a key point. Watching for faulty, damaged electrical fixtures and wiring, loose debris with any kind of potential to fall, damaged, worn, or slippery flooring systems, typically as a result of water trying to put out the fire, sharp protrusions, and really anytime there's been a major fire, we should be having an engineer come in and ensure that the property is structurally sound prior to providing access again. That's obviously dependent on severity and the potential impact on structural materials. Something like the image shown of the Strathcona apartments, this would not be safe to walk around in.